Congratulations to Spain, who have qualified for the quarterfinals, playing against the winner of the USA-Belgium match later today. That game will be played in LA Stadium.
At 41 years old on the 2nd of July 2026, at BMO Field in Toronto, Cristiano Ronaldo, the man whose Portugal highlights reel now spans 23 years, stepped up to a penalty spot he had been staring at for 22 years. Portugal was losing, down a goal to Croatia in the round of 32. The clock was in the 68th minute, and Ronaldo, arguably the most decorated goalscorer in the history of football, had never, across 8 previous knockout matches, scored a goal in a World Cup knockout stage. He put the ball down, he took a breath, he drilled it straight down the middle. That penalty was his first ever World Cup knockout goal. It also made him the oldest player in history to score in the knockout rounds of the tournament. Portugal came back to win 2-1. And the Cristiano Ronaldo Portugal highlights reel, the single most exhaustive individual highlight collection in the sport, got one more clip to add to a story now spanning 3 major trophies. This is what makes it unlike any other career highlight package in football history. Let's start with the numbers, because the numbers are the reason the analysis matters. 146 goals for the Portugal national team. 232 appearances. Both are records, not Portuguese records, world records. No man has ever played more international matches, and no man has ever scored more goals for a country.
Bom, tem sido assim desde que entrei na seleção com 18 anos. Sempre fui assim, não vai mudar. Eu estou sempre de corpo e alma para ajudar a seleção a alcançar os seus objetivos. Jogando ou não jogando, terei sempre papel importante nesta seleção.
The gap between Ronaldo and the next closest active player, Lionel Messi, his generational rival across club football at Real Madrid and beyond, is 23 international goals. 14 goals at European Championships, 15 at the Nations League, 11 at the World Cup, 2 at the Confederations Cup, 10 international hat tricks, 41 goals in World Cup qualifying, 41 in Euro qualifying, making him the first man to score more than 50 in European qualification matches. He has scored in every calendar year since 2003. That is a 23-year record, and it is not one anyone is going to break. 5 Ballon d'Or awards, 39 club trophies across Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, and now Al Nassr. But none of that hardware explains what the Portugal shirt has meant, or what it has cost. The Cristiano Ronaldo Portugal highlights reel starts with a friendly in Kazakhstan on the 20th of August, 2003. He was 18 years old. He came off the bench in the 74th minute. He did not score. He wouldn't score for Portugal for another 10 months. When he finally did, on the 12th of June 2004, against Greece, it was in the opening match of the European Championship being held in Portugal itself. He was 19. He wore an earring. He scored a header in the 93rd minute. Portugal lost that match anyway. And that is the origin of the Portugal story that most people forget.
Terminarei, como disse há uns anos atrás, quando eu quiser, não quando vocês quiserem. Eu acho que é uma perdida de tempo vocês sempre fazerem a mesma pergunta, é o último. Bom, é 23 anos que vocês tentam me matar. Mas isso já perceberam que não vale a pena.
Portugal lost their opening game of the Euros they were hosting. They then, over the next 3 weeks, reached the final. And in that final, against the same Greek team that had beaten them on opening day, they lost again. Ronaldo was, at the end of the match, on the pitch in tears. That image is where his entire international career begins. Not the trophy, the tears. The Cristiano Ronaldo Portugal highlights reel does not start with success. It starts with the specific kind of loss that shapes the next 22 years. The next 12 years followed a pattern. Portugal would qualify easily. They would arrive at the tournament favored. They would play beautiful football, and they would lose. 2006 at the World Cup in Germany. Ronaldo scored his first ever World Cup goal on a penalty in the 80th minute against Iran. He was the youngest Portuguese player to ever score at a World Cup, at 21 years and 132 days. Portugal reached the semi-finals. only the second time in the country's history. Then they lost to France. Euro 2008, quarterfinal exit. 2010 World Cup, round of 16. He scored 1 goal against North Korea. Euro 2012, semi-final loss to Spain on penalties. 2014 World Cup. Group stage exit. Portugal did not make it out of the group. Every one of those tournaments produced individual moments that are on the highlight reel. Ronaldo scored in 5 of the 7. His per-tournament goal averages went up, not down, and Portugal kept going home before the trophy round. The audience watched the same movie 6 times. Then, on the 10th of July, 2016, the movie changed. The Euro 2016 final was Portugal versus France in Paris. France were host, France were favorite. Portugal, honestly, had not looked like a team capable of winning.
Bueno, fue un partido muy equilibrado, podía dar para cualquier uno, en mi opinión. España ha tenido esa puntita de suerte, marcar ahí ya en los momentos finales, pero es el fútbol. Yo creo que en el general fue un partido bien disputado.
They had drawn 3 of their group matches, been dumped into the third-place tier of the 16-team round of 16, and squeaked through against Croatia in extra time. 25 minutes into the final, Ronaldo went down. Knee injury. He tried to keep playing, he tried again. Twice he came back onto the pitch. On the 3rd attempt, in the 25th minute, he stayed down for good. He watched the rest of the match from the sidelines. He also coached from the sideline. Camera footage that would go viral for a decade after the final showed Ronaldo screaming instructions, waving arms at the manager, effectively co-managing the last hour of the tournament from a technical area he had no right to occupy. In the 109th minute, Eder scored. Portugal won 1-0. Ronaldo lifted the trophy on crutches. That night ended the always brilliant, never-winning chapter of Portugal's international story. It was the first major trophy Portugal had ever won, and it reframed everything he had done, and everything he would do for the rest of his international career. Now, the tactical piece. Because to understand what Ronaldo has actually done for Portugal, you have to look at the tape. In his first phase, from 2003 to roughly 2010, Ronaldo was a right winger. He was a dribbler, a trickster, a step-over machine. He would take defenders one-on-one, cut inside, and shoot. His touches were flashy, his shot selection was chaotic, and his goal output for Portugal, in that phase, was modest compared to what came next.
É waste of time. Não vale a pena. Tentam. Não vale a pena. Não vale a pena. E é uma questão que eu estou completamente acostumado. Há uns que gostam mais, uns que gostam menos. Faz parte. Eu também tenho as minhas preferências.
By 2010, he had shifted to the left. His running lines got smarter. His shots got more direct. He was still a wide player, but his positional game had matured. His goal tallies for Portugal in this period roughly doubled compared to his early years. By 2016, the shift was almost complete. Ronaldo was now, functionally, a central forward for the national team. He operated in the box. He specialized in headers. His movement between defenders was that of a striker, not a winger. And his goal-per-minute rate went from very good to historically dominant. By the early 2020s, the transformation was total. Ronaldo is now at 41, a penalty box striker, a poacher, a finisher. His role is to be exactly where the ball needs to be exactly when it arrives. And Portugal's tactical setup, under manager Roberto Martinez, is now built to feed him. Bruno Fernandes controls the tempo from midfield, spraying passes into channels. Bernardo Silva operates in the half spaces, drawing defenders. The system exists in part to manufacture the moments Ronaldo converts. That evolution, across 3 distinct roles in the same jersey, is the most sophisticated positional adaptation in the modern era of international football. Very few players in history have rewritten their skill set that thoroughly. Fewer still have done it while still being their national team's leading goal scorer. The next chapter was the Russia World Cup in 2018. On the 15th of June in Sochi, Portugal played Spain in the opening match. Ronaldo, then 33, scored a hat-trick.
A veces se gana, a veces se pierde. y hay que seguir. La verdad que fue mi último mundial, sí, pero lo demás terei tiempo para pensar, estar con mi familia, no decidir las cosas de cabeza caliente y seguir la vida.
The last goal was a free kick from 23 yards that curled over the wall and dropped into the top corner. The match ended 3-3. It was one of only a handful of hat tricks by a European player at a World Cup in the previous decade. That hat trick, and the celebration that followed, is arguably the single most watched highlight in the entire Cristiano Ronaldo Portugal highlights catalog. It regenerated an audience of hundreds of millions who had, for a moment, forgotten what he could do. He scored 4 goals in that tournament. Portugal exited in the round of 16. Then came the Nations League. In 2019, Portugal hosted the inaugural Nations League finals. They beat Switzerland in the semi-final 3-1. Ronaldo scored a hat trick. In the final, Portugal beat the Netherlands 1-0. Ronaldo lifted a second major trophy. In 2025, Portugal won it again. A third major trophy. Ronaldo, at 40, scored in that final too. Between those 2 trophies, Portugal exited Euro 2020 in the round of 16, exited the 2022 World Cup in the quarterfinals, with Ronaldo publicly benched in the later stages, a decision that fractured the relationship between Ronaldo and then-manager Fernando Santos, and effectively ended Santos's tenure, and most painfully for the fan base, exited Euro 2024 in the quarterfinals with Ronaldo failing to score a single goal in the entire tournament. That last one was the first tournament of his entire international career in which he had not found the back of the net. He cried after the round of 16 match against Slovenia, on camera.
Qual é a outra pergunta que tu disseste? A mensagem para os portugueses é sempre...
The microphone, please.
É os que estão em Portugal e os que estão cá, esses são fiéis, esses não falham, estão sempre do nosso lado, estão sempre do meu lado, todo o resto é garbage.
In a way that the audience did not know how to interpret at the time. Some read it as the beginning of the end. The audience apparently was wrong. Which brings us to 2026. As of this recording, July 2026, Ronaldo is still writing this story in real time. He arrived at this tournament at 41 years old. He had said very little about whether it would be his last. His girlfriend, Georgina Rodriguez, told an interviewer this year that she thought it would be. Ronaldo, when asked, said only that he had not decided. His first match, a 1-1 draw with the Democratic Republic of Congo, was quiet. No goals, 3 shots. A performance the audience read as concerning. His second match against Uzbekistan changed the narrative. Ronaldo scored a brace, becoming the first man to score in 6 different World Cups, breaking a tie with Eusebio for Portugal's all-time World Cup scoring record and becoming the second oldest player to ever score in the tournament, behind only Roger Milla in 1994. His third match against Croatia gave him the knockout goal he had chased for over 2 decades. Portugal now plays Spain in the round of 16, a pre-quarterfinal Iberian derby between 2 of the tournament favorites. Ronaldo will be 41 years and 149 days old on match day. He has, at the time of this recording, 976 official career goals. He is chasing 1,000. The math says he probably will not get there before he retires. But the math has been wrong about him before.
Não me conta para nada. Não me falta nada na vida. Deus foi muito generoso comigo e deu-me tudo aquilo que nunca esperei ganhar. Principalmente na seleção. E a nível pessoal o mesmo. Por isso, é desfrutar de cada momento.
Here is what watching the Cristiano Ronaldo Portugal highlights is actually about. It is not about the individual goal, it is about the length of the story. 232 matches for a single country over 23 years. 146 goals, 3 major trophies, 6 World Cups, 6 European Championships. It is about a player who came onto the pitch in Kazakhstan as a teenager, watched his country lose a home, European Championship final in tears, waited 12 years to win anything, then went on a decade-long run where he rewrote what an international goal scorer could look like. A player who began at Manchester United, became the best in the world at Real Madrid, reinvented himself at Juventus, and is now at Al Nassr. still scoring, still competing, still in a World Cup. The club career and the international career have always run in parallel, and they have always told the same story: longevity through reinvention. It is about the fact that he is 41 years old, has been the best goal scorer of his generation for 20 of those years, and is still scoring in World Cup knockout rounds. Portugal plays Spain next. Whatever happens in that match, the film keeps rolling. The Cristiano Ronaldo Portugal highlights are, at the time of this recording, still being written, and the man writing them shows no interest in stopping. The next clip is on Wednesday. Watch it live.